Hello everyone, happy hump day. It is time for Formula 2 and we are here in the City of Fire or the City of Wind. I can't remember which way one it is, but it is Baku, and we are looking at the temporary pit buildings, which usually gets erected 6 weeks before the event itself. And I've got to say, we have had an incredible 4 days here, and our last event is Formula 2. Who can wait for this one? I certainly can't. Means Tan saying that Toyn Coin is going to win. Then my money is on him making his debut tonight, so I can't wait to see how he fares then in this one, as we've got a couple of retirements already. Then and we're talking of we're just on board now with who we're going to go on board with, and switching around and Sickers Muck making a first appearance tonight then in the in Formula 2. We're just going to keep an eye on Luke for the minute then as he flies towards us now. I really don't like this single shot qualifying because it's a shame because we don't get to see the whole drivers then, and it just feels like a bit of a mess to be honest personally for the one-shot qualifying. Unfortunately, the game only has like a 30-minute session for qualifying or one-shot quali, which of course you don't 30 minutes because I'll basically sitting here talking at you without much action going on. Because you only get two sets. I think you only get one set of tyre in qualifying for Formula 2, so you're not really going to be doing much apart from one attempt at the beginning of the 30 minutes, and that's it really, isn't it? We just got Luke then who's having 6 at the moment. For the castle section then. The name and shame then of the drivers who haven't gone for a lap then, which is Bannister down in 18th, 17th for Vintage, Serious Merchant 16th, and Reflections in 15th, make that Siege in 14th, while both MP Motorsport cars have not qualified. Happy birthday as well to Vintage there, a vintage age as well for Vintage there, and I must say I am very jealous of Vintage because I think he's got some, I think he's got tickets to the Dutch Grand Prix, I believe, in a couple of weeks' time. I couldn't see it very well on my phone, but unfortunately I couldn't load it up. So I had a very quick glance. But I am actually well jealous of that. Very good stuff. That really good stuff. Toy Coin then currently is on course to get a pole position on his debut tonight in Formula 2. He was playing down his chances there. Toy Coin then for Campos then on his debut is going to get 2 points as he has. That's his first points of the season. An incredible pole position here for Toyn Coin. He's going to be on pole for the feature race. Coming up in just a jiffy. And Means Tans knew exactly what Toyn Coin's all about. And goodness gracious, I'm going to ask him for the lottery numbers as well. Fantastic stuff there for Toyn Coin on his debut here in Baku. Really well done indeed then. This is the results for the feature race, and of course the sprint race it will be reversed then, but this is the grid then for the feature. Toyn Coin 2 points for him and Campos then, and pole position on his debut, and he has a 10th or second in front of Young Lights in second, the top 2 in a league of their own. Gina in third position, the second Virtuosi car, Hassal in fourth with Vestia in fifth, Jay Higgs in sixth position with Luke 7th, Sigismund 8th, Lucifer 9th, and Chewy in 10th position. Chewy will be on pole position for the sprint race then. For the sprint race, along with Lucifer, alongside him on row 1 then. Of course, anyone who's outside the top 10, of course, will be as they were there. With Martin 11th, 30, 12th, Knowlesy, Siege, Reflection, Serious Mushroom, Vintage and Bannister will be starting those positions for the sprint and for the feature itself. Evening, Serious Mushroom. I hope your wisdom teeth are not causing you any grief anymore. Of course, as Serious Mushroom raced with some very painful teeth last night, didn't they? Of course, as we are now getting ready for the start of the sprint. The sprint race is actually 2 laps longer than the Formula 1 sprint race. Of course, that's all we've had this week is sprint and the Grand Prix in Formula 1. Formula 2, it is business as usual. We always have a sprint, but it's 2 laps longer than the Formula 1 race, which I found very interesting indeed. And of course, it is 15 laps for the feature as well. And those are going to be some extremely long laps as well for Formula 2 machinery. I cannot wait for this one. It's going to be too good to miss. And I've got a really itchy foot, which I'm very good at. The lights are on. As we said, Chewy and Lucifer's on the front row of the grid then. And lights out. And it is go, go, go here in Baku then as we go down into turn 1. As Chewy has gone very wide into turn 1 there. Lucifer takes the lead of the sprint here. Remember, it is the top 8 that scores with 10 points for the winner. And 8th gets 1 point now. And they go into turn 2 then. It was very messy in turn 2 last night in bronze, wasn't it? However, they've all got away just about safe and sound then. Chewy's got Jay Higgs all over the back of him at the moment, and Hassal at free position as well. It's going in. Oh my gosh, we got 3 abreast there, and that oh gosh there, and into the wall. That's Chewy into the wall, unfortunately. What a shame there, and it's a full course there. I am expecting safety cars. I think at the moment it's just a VSC though, as Lucifer's for 3 seconds in front already, and we got carnage. Goodness me, what's going on here? Jenner all the way down to the back of the field then. And someone's driven into the wall as well. Vintage in 17th here. And I'm wondering if our virtual safety cars really caught a lot of drivers out there. Lights down, 4 positions as well then. As biggest winners off the grid then, we got 4 positions gained then for Reflections and for Siege. for Percy and Martin and Hassal as well. 3 positions for Jay Higgs. Just watching, like I said, who was dominating last week, and it's only 4 points away in the Formula 2 Championship. We hadn't even gone through the Championship yet, have we? Good gracious me! We'll go through that in the interval then, hopefully, anyway. Or if we get a bit of a lull in this sprint race, then maybe. However, I'm not expecting a lull in this race. We never get any lull in Baku in any of the races so far, have we? Just on board now with and now we're green again then. Oh my goodness me, and Vintage, and I think he lit up the rear tyres there, unless Ericsson hits him, but he's at the back of the field now. Unfortunately, Vintage is celebrating his birthday, but will not be celebrating that start. Sadly, that it's just got Hassal all over the back of Jay Higgs. That is the gap at the front. Then Lucifer is, look at that, he's already 3 seconds in front. That is contact there. Big sick as much. It's just hit the glancing blow then with the Tech Pro. Then yellow flag though. Bannister out of the race already in this one there, and Bannister's car, I can't see where Bannister is then, but I think he's gone off it. It's going to be very tight going through here, isn't it? And well, his car, I think it's absolutely disintegrated for Bannister. Luckily, this is only virtual racing, isn't there? Because that looked like a nasty shunt indeed. But Bannister out of the sprint, unfortunately. Jenner and Chewy both in the pits, and both of them unfortunately, I don't think they come to blows personally, but they have had incidents with the war, haven't they? Lucifer leads there with Jay Higgs in second. Hassal in third is the safety car. They have not been able to clear up that wreckage, and in the Prima car of Bannister out of the race then. As once again, Sirius Mushroom not happy with the passing under the yellow flags again. Normally the stewards on the game should be right across that, but that really hasn't happened again, has it? I'm sure that's happened in Formula 2 last week as well, and they come Chewy's out the pits, Ginner out the pits, and Vintage out of the pits as well. Super soft then for Vintage, and on the purple mark tyres then, so he gets going. We'll see how this transpires, and safety cars on the other side of the circle at the moment. No mandatory pit stops in the sprint then, similar to Formula 1, and Chewy's off again at turn 2. Unfortunately, it's not a good start for Chewy, is it, in the Formula 2 machinery at the moment there, but he does though, but he does continue on his way. Has he got damage? He has again, but I'm wondering if Chewy may be able to get those soft tyre, go on soft tyres and stretch the stint then. Of course, you only get 3 sets of tyres, 2 super softs and 1 medium. Something like that then. Of course, no intermediate tyres, which this time last week caused an absolute stir, didn't it, in the Australia sprint race. One of the best races I have ever witnessed, certainly in Formula 2, but I think across any races, it was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? The conditions were perfect for intermediate tyres. We had no intermediate tyres in Formula 2, didn't we? Because of that, it was split strategy between the wets and the medium tyres, or the dry tyres. The wet tyres were disintegrating after 6-7 laps, so some drivers like Siege had to come into the pits, didn't they? And of course other drivers, I think Percy had a puncture because he stretched the wet tyres far too long then. Alright, coming up in the grid hatch as well then, so no DRS then gets in the moment. Of course, DRS will be activated at the end of the third lap after the safety car comes in, so maybe we ain't going to get DRS until probably about lap 6, 7, which is well over half distance in this sprint race at the moment. So safety car is out at the moment then. We are just taking a look at the back of the field then. Chewy, I wonder if he'll come into the pits now and put on another set of, maybe a set of super soft here then, like Vintage just in front of us. Of course, happy birthday to Vintage Day. Of course, I've already mentioned it already, but we keep saying it there for Vintage Day because, of course, it's a birthday. It's meant to be celebrated, isn't it there? So what way to celebrate it here in Azerbaijan in a Formula 2 machinery. I love it. Right, as it stands at the moment, Lucifer, who has been my star of Formula 2 since this championship has got going, he has been absolutely magnificent. He really has indeed. I've enjoyed watching him apply his trade and craft in Formula 2. He's been absolutely mesmerising. Right, in the championship then, whilst he got a safety car, it is Troy who leads the way, but Troy is missing the second race in a row this week, unfortunately. Troy is having a bit of a trying time in the world champion for gold, then difficult start in gold then, and for the last 2 weeks, unfortunately, for Troy. and of course, Formula 2, he was leading the championship, but unfortunately he is not, well, he can still lead the championship, but Lights is incredible for result in Australia last time out. Then it's propelled him right up into second there. Luke in third position, then 7 points away from Troy as well, so Luke is very much in the thick of things then. Siege currently 19 points back at the moment in fourth position, and X-Gamer is fifth. I don't think he's in the in tonight's race. I don't believe X-Gamer is in sixth position. RTBE is currently, I think he's enjoying himself and on holiday. RTBE is, I think he's back for in 2 weeks time then, which I think our next race is in Imola, isn't it there, as we don't have oh, Lights is off the circuit and he's pointing the complete wrong way there. We was just mentioned about Lights there, 3 points away from Troy in the championship, but this has not gone at all well for the Versarosi car. And unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, he's going to have to go in the pits there. I think the Super Softs is going to have to be the name of the day now. This could help Lights, you know. Chewy, did he come into the pits? I don't think, did Chewy come into the pits just saying, look, I don't think he did, judging from, hang on, I'm looking at the wrong map, there I am. Yeah, so Chewy's gone back onto his original medium tyres there. Unfortunately for Lights, damage there. I wonder if anyone else is going to think about going to the pits for Super Softs. That would hinder him from a race, wouldn't it then? Into the pits, and Lights has flown in there, and luckily he didn't take himself out of that. Goodness gracious me, but he's in the pits now. Lights is there. The Versarosi team are now going to go to work there, and here they come then. Of course, there it's only one mechanic per tire, and you can see that, and we've only got a limited amount of mechanics as well. As you can see, they swap over the back jack as well then. Over the back of the jack as well, of course, because you're only allowed a certain number of personnel then to work on the car. Here comes Lights out of the pit lane now then, whilst he's coming out of the pits. Let's carry on with the championship chart. Serge Rusham in 7th position, and Vestier in 8th. Lucifer Drive, who we're on board with now, in 9th position on 23 points. And Hassel 12 points then, and scored the first points for the Charus racing system then, which is good stuff for them, because after the opening 3 rounds they would be probably be a bit concerned, but Hassel's come off the mark now, and he's also broken his top 10 as well. Kaidal in 11th position on 10 points, 8 for Jinner, 6 for Martin, 4 for Vintage, and 2 for Vintage, 4 for Martin. In the team championship, Carling leads the way, 12 points in front of High Tech in second. In third position is the ART, 4 points away from High Tech. High Tech have been the most consistent team so far this season. 4th position, the Virtuosi. 5th position is the Campos team, while they've got 48 points out of that incredible pole position earlier on in this race, thanks to Toyn Coin. 6th position is Dams, 5 points away from Campos. MP Motorsport, a point behind Dams. They've got Trident on 25. 23 for Prima, and the Charus team on 12, which was courtesy of Hassel in the feature race a week ago. There is the championship then. And safety car is still out then. We're going to have the safety car for over half of the rate of this race, I couldn't speak. The Lights are still on then, as we are still waiting for the driver's head to catch up. The likes of Lights and Chewy. Lights did go onto the medium tyres head, so he didn't fancy the super soft set, and he may need the, and of course you only get 1 set of super softs and 2 sets of medium tyre, go the wrong way around. So that is probably why Lights didn't want to use those super soft set for the feature race south bed. Right, safety car is still out again then. Goodness gracious me, a very long time this safety car is. I think it'll be in the end of this lap then, and we'll be going racing then for hopefully the second half of this race then, because goodness me, so far all this race has basically been behind the safety car, hasn't it? Jay Higgs looking good in the Dams car. Hassel in third at the moment. Luke in fourth. Luke is the highest championship runner at the moment. If Luke stays where he is, then I think he'll only be 2 points behind Troy in the championship. Yes, he would then. He won't take the lead in the championship just yet then. If he wants to take the lead in the championship, he has to finish at least Lights is left the session there, and that's not good. Hopefully he'll get back in. If Luke wants to lead the championship, of course, he will have to finish second at the very least. And to be honest, he wouldn't lead outright. He has to win this sprint race, but of course he's also got a feature race in the cam as well. Only the top 8 score in this sprint race, of course, that is 10 for first, 8 for 1 point for 8th position. Of course, you also get a point for fast lap as well in the sprint race, which of course you don't in the race there. As I must admit, I had to clarify with the admins actually earlier on if drivers get a point for the sprint race. Of course, you don't get a point for the sprint race in Formula 1, but you do in Formula 2. Bannister out of the race at the moment. Then Lights has left the session. Hopefully be back in pronto. Vintage is on super soft. Watch him fly. Vintage in 15th position. Then we're going to get back racing hopefully in the not too distant future. Albeit Chewy is still quite a distance behind. He's over half a minute down the road at the moment. Chewy is in the second shot routine, and Lights is back in the session, which is good stuff indeed. There, I think that Chewy is not doing this on purpose. He is being held to a doubter, which is unfortunate there for Chewy. Well, Lights is up the section again. This is not good. Hopefully he can keep it. Hopefully get himself back in pronto. So Chewy there is not. He's not hanging back, is he? On this is not by choice there, because he wants to be behind, right behind the Crocodile and strike whilst the iron's hot then for Chewy. Then let's see how this one transpires. And safety car out because Bannister had a horrific smash out of turn 16 into the tech road. Safety car is in at the end of the lap. Then Lucifer, can he get his first win in Formula 2? I think he's done everything bar get the win so far, has he? Lucifer has. He's been magnificent stuff indeed there. Magnificent stock. His stock has definitely rose in Formula 2 this season. Just watching, when is he going to go? When is he going to go? Remember last night, the night before, and the night before, we've had safety cars in all three races here in gold, silver, and bronze. And now we've also had a safety car here in the Formula 2 race as well. Of course, I think that Lucifer's going to wait until the very end then, because he doesn't want to punch a hole in the air then, which means that Jay Higgs, Hassal, Luke, Sick as Muck, and the rest of them get an almighty slipstream then and go and have an attack down to turn one then. Chewy might be able to catch up here. He's on full beans then. There you'll see, there he is in the background there. So this is great news there for Chewy. I don't think Lucifer's helping Chewy here. He just doesn't want to. Now he's gone, and now we're racing then. And here we go. No one's allowed to overtake until the start-finish line. Lights are starting the session still. Down into turn one then, and Lucifer leads then. And who is that then? That's Sick as Muck going down the inside. Oh, Vester trying to go on the outside. They've much better grip on the outside there. Staying on the racing line then. Vester up into fifth position there. Percy also making his way through past Martin, I believe, and now he's got Sick as Muck also in facility as well. And goodness me, what's that contact there? And look, and now here comes a Toy Coin, who has been fantastic, and he is squeezing through. Magnificent stuff there. And Percy's had to take a face accident. Sick as Muck has just taken out him and Percy. Oh goodness gracious me! Sick as Muck going for an almighty dive. And that has unfortunately taken both Red Bulls out. Chewy down the escape road as well. Yellow flag again, and hopefully there's going to be another safety car. Toy and Coin absolutely announced himself on the big stage here. 5-second penalty for Lights. I don't think he's even in the session, so that's a bit harsh to say the least. Then Toy and Coin up into 6th position, and he is a monster in these Formula 2 cars. He is absolutely flying out there. What a debut tonight for Toy and Coin. I absolutely love it. A second behind his teammate at the moment, and Hassal all over the back of J Marks, who's right behind Hings at the moment. Sick as Muck in a person. Sick as Muck diving down the inside of turn 3 there. Percy had nowhere to go, similar to what Nick de Vries did with Kevin Magnussen in Canada. Unfortunately, that looked like a day late and $1 short there for Sick as Muck, unfortunately, and it's cost both drivers dearly, and I think both drivers have got major damage as well into turn 3. That is really unfortunate for both the runners there. Lap 6 of this race then, and now as they come out of the reflections, it's out of the race as well. It's the there's Deborah all over the circle. I think it's exactly the same. And look, Reflections' car is doing a bunny hop there. Exactly the same as what happened there to what's happened to Bannister, and it's another safety car here, and this safety car is going to really help some drivers. Into the pitch comes Caesar. Percy's got a drive-through penalty there for speeding on the safety car, and his day is going from bad to worse. Percy is in these Formula 2 then. Vintage is still a ghost by the looks of things. Sick as Muck has also got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Super soft then for Siege, and he is going to be down in 13th position, but he shouldn't drop any further. Well, actually, Chewy will be in front of him as well. Into the pits there is Vintage, a new super soft set. I may not know what I'm talking about, to be honest. I thought he only had one set there. And now it's also just looking at Sick as Muck there, coming out of the pits as well. And a new nose cone here for Person, as they are also going on to new medium tyres. But no, it's super soft, so I apologise. Super soft set for the rolling Carling car, and now he has been released, has he? Well, I hope he has, but he's still stationed. Now he goes, and now he goes back into the race there. And goodness me, another safety car. Well, now we're on lap 7 here. Safety cars parked at the apex of turn 2. I gotta say, Bernd Mailander has really earned his keep in this one, hasn't he? In this one, there has been a lot of heated debates as well after the races we've had around here. It is of course, this is a street circuit. It's a very fast street circuit as well. And if you get it wrong, you're going to get it wrong in a big way. So yes, there has been some very interesting dynamics then for all drivers all over the championship, wasn't it? And I think that there's going to be some more interesting competition after this one here tonight as well. So at the moment, this sprint race has been anything but a sprint, has there? It's just been safety cars after safety cars here. We're on lap 7, and I think we've only had like 2 or 3 racing laps there. Drive-through penalty for Percy again for speeding under a safety car. I think that Percy is fuming about what has transpired in this racing, because he was very much well in the points then. Lights is back in the session as well, but he does have a 5-second penalty that may be reviewed by the stewards at the end of this one, because he wasn't technically in the car when he got that 5-second penalty, so that's a bit harsh there on Lights, who of course wants to take the lead in the championship tonight, doesn't he? But I think that the main focus has definitely been so far is Lucifer leading this race, and he looks very comfortable leading this race. And I think this is the first time he's led this race in a Formula 2, and he's looking very strong as well, isn't he, Lucifer? Higgs in second position, Hassan in third, and looking for Vesser in 5th position. Toyn Coyne is the other major player in this race so far, isn't he, in 6th position? Absolutely flown through the field. He's up into 6th position now. He's got pole position for the feature race coming up in just a not too distant future. There's Bernd Mailander just lingering on the outside of turn 2. Now then, as we get down to safety car speed for a minute, then I think that we're going to have at least a couple of laps to be on the safety cars. We're waiting for Percy and Sick as Muck to catch up. Then, of course, the second safety car near enough the same as the first safety car. The reason is for reflection crashing heavily at the exit of turn 17 and going onto the opposite side of the turn, exactly what Bannister did, both out of the race then. Unfortunately, it looks like it is the car, especially there's still dirty air in the Formula 2 cars, isn't there? So it looks like you're getting a lot of error wash there, isn't it? As you slipstreaming behind the car in front, and you're just losing. Maybe you're just understeering into the wall potentially, or maybe you're just losing downforce as well through there. Unfortunately, you've missed both the humongous incidents at this stage of proceedings, and we may have to see afterwards what has transpired in this one. Lap 8 out of 11, then we've almost finished the sprint race. We've only 2 laps racing then. Did the Formula 3 race in Spa on Sunday. I don't think it awarded any points to it, because it only had like 1 racing lap, didn't it? I think, or only 2 race laps, so it needs more than 2 race laps or something like that, doesn't it? I don't think that rule is going to count in ALR tonight. So yes, all drivers, as long as they finish the race, they should all get points, then, shouldn't they? Really, so very similar to the Formula 3 race in Spa on Sunday. Goodness gracious me! Right, safety car is still out at the moment. Then I think the safety car is not coming in yet. Then, so we've got 1 more lap behind the safety car. I'm not sure if Lucifer would be happy or not with this, to be fair, because I do think that Lucifer had the speed, especially early in the race, and he got a gap up to about 3 seconds after just 1 lap, whilst all the anarchy was on behind him. But I do feel, though, that he's going to probably feel a bit concerned about punching a hole in the air for the drivers behind him. On board with the second trident, and we've been looking at the first trident of Lucifer a long time, but now we're looking at the birthday boy vintage Of course, one thing that I do wish that they saw out of it too is the fact is that we got basically the cars have basically been copied, haven't they, in the race trim? You've got 2 what's his name? Is it Callum Williams? I think it's 2 Callum Williams Trident cars in this race. As we're just watching Sick as Muck then, 2 laps and Siege has dropped behind there. Cirrus Mushroom is off the circuit. Cirrus Mushroom is off at turn 2. He is doing a 2-point turn here for Cirrus Mushroom is there. Of course, I think that corner is very famous for another Formula 2 driver, but Cirrus Mushroom now just trying to get out, but he's dropped all the way down to last, and Percy looks like he just Percy let him back through there. Very gentlemanly from Percy, but Cirrus Mushroom has dropped from 9th all the way down to 15th. We're not sure what happened with Cirrus Mushroom. Love the helmet, by the way. Not sure what happened with Cirrus Mushroom in the Campos, but unfortunately, that's a great helmet. But unfortunately, he is down in 15th position now, and I think that is going to be a that it's going to be major problems. And Luke is saying that actually they gave out points at the end of the Form 3, did they? Classic FIA U-turn, exactly that. Well, there you go, because I think when the race finished at F3, they did say they was going to give out any points then, which I thought was quite harsh, to be fair, but I do understand it. You do kind of have to have a minimum of 2 racing laps there. I think that rule came from the infamous Spa 2021 race, didn't it? Where we had only 2 or 3 laps beyond the safety car, which is a bit of a farce, really, isn't it? However, I'm kind of in the middle on that decision now, because I did think that George Russell deserved those points he got from qualifying second in that Williams. It was absolutely incredible result there. And it also rewarded Max Verstappen of an incredible pole position on the Saturday as well. So I'm kind of I'm in an iron about that one. But anyway, that's nothing for us to arm about now, because we need to get back going. There's still overtaking here. There's no overtaking under the safety car. We have not got green yet. No overtaking, and still the start-finish line. Lucifer is probably going to do what he did before, because that start line... Oh, who's that then? That's Hassan. I'm not sure we got a helping hand there from the ART, but he did brush the wall. Hopefully he hasn't got any damage then, but we're now going to be back racing in just a few moments time here. Hopefully for the I don't think we should have any more safety cars now. I don't think anyway, because hopefully we'll have maybe 2 racing laps here now to finish off the sprint then, as it's been a very processional sprint race, hasn't it, so far? When is Lucifer going to drop the hammer? Look, Hings is very much, he's not alongside Lucifer, is he? But he's definitely keeping it on his toes, and as he is he's not, of course, you can't stop and start then, can you? You got to keep a sensible speed. And when is he going to go? When is he going to go? And is he gone? He has gone. We're back racing then for the final 2 laps of the sprint, and yellow flag in the back, but I think that everyone's okay. Oh, Hings has gone into the side and turn 1 now. Knowlesy and Lights out, and there's cars gone off in the background now. Chewy's off, and goodness me, and who's that then going up there? I think that, I'm not sure who that was there. It's one of the, it's either the high tech or the ART. And now we got Hassau up into a second position. Hings down the third, then Luke in fourth. Remember, Luke is challenging for the championship. He is the highest driver in the championship out of these drivers so far. Luke on the outside here. Hings has struggled. Then we seen him kiss the Armco of turn 1, didn't we? Earlier on in this one. But now, I wonder if he did damage there. Vessier and Toyncoin now fighting with Vessier then. Vessier down into 6th now, with Toyncoin up into 7th. Vessier up the inside then as he bounces across the curb there, and Toyncoin is giving himself enough space, but Jinner now fighting with Toyncoin as well. He has the inside. This is going to get very squeezy here. Oh my goodness gracious me. But somehow they have got through then into the castle section as well. It's 1 by 1. Oh no, it's not. It's Martin's gone into the back of a Young Lights there and spun him around. And I think that no, it's not Young Lights, is it? I'm not sure who that was. Sorry, it was Jinner. Is the other Virtuosi car. Jinner down into 16th position there. Lucifer's got a second, almost 2-second gap then so far. Then as Siege and Sickensmuck then flying through the field. Percy up to finish on the super soft tyres here at the moment. Then we go down to the castle section then, and it was that good on the inside then. Percy on the sniff, and as we've got the Lights who is on the medium tyre, so he's going to be feeling a bit vulnerable, but Lights does know that Percy's got a drive-through penalty there, so Percy will be, unfortunately, not going to be a factor in the remainder of this race, and the gap at the front. Lucifer flying there in the sprint race, going for his first ever F2 win, either in the sprint or the feature. Percy out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately, and the same place there as we have had before. Hings is, same place we've had there before. That is a perilous corner. We're going to have to keep it on that in the sprint, in the feature. Down into turn 1. Hings is back in the front position with Luke 4th. Vesser in 5th. Toyncoin on his debut in 6th position there. Siege and Sick as Muck there are swapping positions here. Look at him on the outside now. Sick as Muck there, I think, will have the inside here. He does have the inside there. Siege there is going to be forced out there. Oh, goodness me. And I thought they was going to T-bone each other there. Sorry, it's Martin, not Siege. And again, there's too many Red Bull cars out there, isn't it? That's my excuse. Watching Siege now in at 9th position. Then Vesser has lost out to Toyncoin, and as Toyncoin is through. What about this battle here that we just left then? Whoa! And Martin in the wall. And unfortunately for Martin. I think that is they done and dusted for points anyway at this moment. Toying Coin up into 5th position. He is absolutely shining here in the Campos. Says Davey in the F2, and he looks like a natural out there, doesn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed there. Having a look then at Luke, then who's currently 4th at the moment, and I think Luke would be happy with this. Lights does have a 5-second penalty. Of course, that may be rescinded depending on well, he wasn't in the car, was he? But we'll see how that one plays out. Going through the castle section as well then, with Lights in 7th position, Sick as Smoke and 8th, Siege in 9th there. That is the battle for the final point between Sick as Smoke and Siege, and Sick as Smoke has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane there. He's going to be kicking himself with that one, I believe, because that is going to cost him, I think, cost him a point in here. And here comes Lucifer. He has been magnificent, hasn't he? Since the start of his Formula 2 since the start of Formula 2 this season, he has really re-energized himself, hasn't he? With an absolutely superb start then to his Baku adventure. It's like out of the final turn then, and Lucifer just deserves this, his first ever race win then in ALR, and his first ever race win in Formula 2, even the sprint or the feature race. Lucifer wins the Azerbaijan sprint race here. Great stuff indeed there. Toying Coin is actually, oh my gosh, there, Toying Coin 5100 of a second away from 3rd there, and of course Luke 1900 second away from 4th position as well. That could be crucial later on in this race there, in this championship race then as well. But Toying Coin, what a drive there from 10th up to 4th there, and he's on pole position for the feature race as well, coming up in just a jiffy there. What a debut here for Toying Coin. Magnificent stuff. Vintage birthday boy driver today as well in the sprint. Percy not happy, as people have been using this car as a bit of a crash dummy there. I think that's what it says anyway. I can't see because there's a heart emoji in the way. But as Lucifer lost the flag then. I'm not sure if that's Argentinian or not. I think it is Argentinian, isn't it? I have to be very careful then. Serious Mushroom, what a show. And I don't think he meant that in a good way either, as it was very action-packed. And I must say, I did mention it at the start of the build-up of this one, and it's certainly been very stressful for the drivers out there. They have all not got on. They have not got on very well over the past week here in Baku, have they? It's a circuit which is quite brutal indeed. Then classification then from the Formula 2 race then, sprint I say, Lucifer, his first ever Formula 2 race win in fine style as well, and I think that's exactly what he deserves. It's been magnificent this season. Hassel gets 2nd and some major points as well, fastest up as well. Higgins in 3rd, he kept hold of that podium in the end with Toy Coin, Davey 4th, fantastic. Luke in 5th with Besser 6th, Siege 7th and Vintage in 8th position. Great drive from Vintage, getting points unbeknownst to me. Lights may get a point yet. Serious Mushroom up into 10th and Martin and Siggers Muck 11th and 12th, and Nosey 13th, Jenner 14th, Chewy 15th. But retirements was Percy, Reflections, and Bannister, all in the same place. The exit at turn 17, and very precarious as we go on to the feature. And now we go on to the feature race then. Right, as memes Tan saying, what have I just watched then? There's a very scathing assessment there, which has been, I must say, it hasn't been a very good advert for ALR, Baku hasn't, I must say, in terms of... I can't say much, goodness me, I can't even get out of the pit lane. But yeah, there's been some very interesting and very frustrated drivers, I think, over the past week or so. Maybe some drivers that possibly should have taken their time of overtaking. 5 lights are on then, anyway, that lights out, Toying Coin on pole position, and we're go here, as we go down into turn 1 now, and lights are on the inside, that Toying Coin just about there, hanging on the outside. Lights there is gone full steam here and wants to take the lead as we go into turn 2. Toying Coin hanging on the outside perfectly well then. It's ever got through safely then. I think it's a good start. It's a decent start there. Chewy dropping down the order ever so slightly then. Lights are still trying to find a way past Toying Coin now. Lights on the outside then. Jinner now on the inside as well. Of course, as the drivers now starting in the position where they qualified in, we've got... Siege up in the 12th position. Bannister up 5 positions in 13th as well. Good 17th there for Bannister. Lightset, who of course then a bit of a hiccup in the sprint, but he wants to get himself back there. Back in the major points out and potentially take the lead in the Formula 2 Championship. Siege, I think, is in the war in the background there, if I'm not very much mistaken. Oh, one of the MP Motorsports was right at the back there. Twin Coin leads in second position as Lights, third position. Goodness me, how are they gone now? And Lucas in the war, and that's got major implications there for the championship here. Oh dear, and Luke, that's a lot of damage on the end play as well there. Oh dear, and I was, to be honest, they looked like that they was all just following each other in there, weren't they? And I was getting very concerned indeed. These two had a bit of a scuffle in the sprint. Hopefully there's nothing in the feature race here, and they're fighting tooth and nail here, and there seems to be no love lost between these two. Unfortunately, there we are. Now we've got the camera back then, and Percy up into 7th position there. Lucifer, of course, the winner of the sprint race, and can he also get some points in the feature race? Can he get major points in the feature race? I'm not sure if side by side for here is going to be very good. Then Lucifer pulls out nice. Oh, good damage. Who's that? I think that's that Hings there. He's got the wing then on the Dam's car, and I think he's going to have to come into the pits on that one now. Luckily, he's still in the race. Toyn Coin has set the fast up the race, but this is only the opening lap. Yellow flag then, and Vintage is in the war as well. Oh dear, and there's a lot of drivers into the pits, and goodness me, almost into the back there. VSC then Hassal's dropped down the order then, of course, no overtaking. This is meant to neutralise the race then. A Vintage on medium tyres, and unbeknownst to me then, of course, that's wrong with the formation. That is there is we seem to we don't get a lot of information from it, don't get much time to tell you all about the information. Jay Higgs into the pits, medium tyres, Luke in the pits as well. He crashed into the pit lane. Sorry, he didn't crash into the pit lane. How rude of me. He crashed into the castle section there as the internate coming out of the pits now. Into the pits comes at Vintage as well after having an issue at the Precarious turn 17 here tonight. Then VSC is out the moment. No full safety car here at the moment. No full safety car here at the moment then, as we're just watching Twin Coin, who leads the way then. Second Lights, third is Jenner. The gap behind there is Vessier in 4th position, with Hassal in 5th, Percy in 6th position mode. Everyone is on the super soft tires apart from Hings, who's on the medium. Just on board now, just watching Twin Coin, who leads the way then. Here he is, and he goes through the castle section once again. Now we're back green here in Baku then, and how is that start from Twin Coin? It is decent enough, but 7/10 of a second. He would like to get out of DRS range, so is if he can though, but Lights is not going to let that happen if he can. Remember, Lights in a championship battle. Twin Coin is certainly going to be up there, I think, now after these two races alone, and Twin Coin is showing his mettle here tonight. Both Virtuosi cars had a bit of so-so start to their F2 campaign, is doing a decent job at the moment now in third and fourth, second and third, I say, with Lights and Jinner. Superb, and he's brilliant stuff indeed there as they flick past me now then, and Hassan coming into the back of Vessier at the moment there. Vessier's had nightmares in this place, and after awful problems yesterday, Bannister has made to 10th position after a difficult race in the sprint race earlier on then. DRS has now been enabled then as Jinner has been dropped, hasn't it? So Jinner has been dropped at the moment. As the front two have started to pull away. Hassau couldn't get the job done. Lucifer is now alongside Sick as Mug. Sick as Mug has the inside. Goodness me, that was almost into the wall. Then Lucifer is now swapped positions, going on the inside into turn 2, and he has got the job done. Sick as Mug dropped back there because he wants to get a bit of momentum, but unfortunately he hasn't got DRS. But Sick as Mug, goodness me, now we got to Vessier and Hassau. Then goodness gracious me, the Vessier is in the wall, and but goodness me, that it was getting very tense at the end of the straight there. I didn't see any debris come off the front wing of the high-tech car, but Vessier, I'm sure Vessier hopefully has, if he's got any damage, it would be the minutest of damage. And Battle at the front is 3/10 of a second one. That Light said, as it stands wrong, we've been leading the Formula 2 Championship then. So we're just going through the castle section once again. Light is pushing Twin Coin as hard as he can here, isn't he? Of course, Twin Coin getting his first pole position on his debut in Formula 2. Don't want to run out there too often there. Of course, that will be a penalty. Lovely shot here. I love that shot between Twin Coin and Lights. And true artist, Mr. Director, fantastic. Gap behind these two. 2 seconds, and these guys are absolutely hot on the pace, and they right from the get-go here. Brilliant stuff indeed. Remember that the feature races, of course, do have a pit stop. So, of course, you have to use 2 types of tires as well, whether that's the, of course, which is only the medium or the super sunset. Look at that understeer on that car, then, and that just shows that you can go full throttle through turn 17, can you? Because you will be in the wall then. What about Percy now all over the back of Vessier? I think Vessier does have damage because he is struggling now, isn't he? Back at the front, this is the battle for the lead then between Lights and Toy Coin. Lights is having a sniff, but nothing more down into turn 1. What about Vessier and Percy? There they go then, and it looks like Percy's up in the 5th position now, giving Vessier a squeeze, and so Vessier cannot go for the switcheroo. That is a great driver IQ there from Percy. Vessier trying to go back, he's giving him a bit of a tap into turn 2 there, Vessier, as he's just trying to tell him to get a move on. He's got some pretty good top end speed, but we did hear in the practice sessions, coming up in the practice session in this Formula 2 race, that the DRS may not be as advantageous as maybe in a Formula 1 car, so that would be interesting. A bit of old school racing here tonight then, maybe. What's that, Jay Higgs there? Oh gosh, there, and Luke then, who seem to be attached to each other over this event so far, and whether they're battling for the podium or whether they're battling for 16th and 17th, they're both unfortunately at the back of the field and probably need some kind of safety car to get themselves back in. Siege has been on the outside here trying to get past Bannister at the moment, but no dice at the moment as we go down into the castle section as well, to the old part of town here in Baku. We've got Martin, who's a bit of a cork in the bottle here because we've got Bannister, Siege, Nosy, Reflections, Cirrus Mushroom at the back of this crocodile as well here. Goodness gracious me, 6 cars here fighting tooth and nail. That, and if our DRS is not advantageous, it will the driver struggles to overtake you. It's going to get very juicy indeed then, isn't it? Siege there, I'm sure you're so tempted to have a lunge down in turn 15, and you can see there is thinking better of it at this moment in time. There in front of us said, I think that was Sick as Muck in 8th position there in the Prima car. He'll be very happy that, and he's the lead Prima car as well at the moment now. There's the second Prima car is Bannister in a 10th position at the moment there. Gap in the front, 5/10 of a second there as they run down into turn 1. I'm going to keep an eye on that gap there, but I think that they've ran out of straight once again. And what about these Gagula cars here then as they fly up towards turn 1 then? I think Bannister's going to have to get defensive here because Siege is coming at him at a right old rate and not said. Nosy is in the pits then, so Nosy coming into the pits and 5-second penalty for Nosy for speeding in the pit lane. Siege has gone into the wall, and that was a big clout then as well for Siege. I think I didn't see Debris come up then, but I'll be absolutely surprised if that wing hasn't got any damage on the motorsport car. Just got moving. That's exactly what happened to me and Mushroom last night. Then I think I'm a bit. Oh gosh, Aaron Siege there misjudged that, and he's unfortunately gone right into the runoff here of turn 3, and that's clout into the barrier as well there for Siege then. So goodness me, no spin around there for Siege then. Not graceful for Siege. He just wants to get the car back going then, but unfortunately he's lost an abundance amount of time here as Lights. What's happened to Lights then? That's not Lights. There's Lights, and he's lost the whole of the wing here. Oh my goodness me, then Lights, who was putting the pressure on Toin Coin, is in major peril now and is dropped down into third position with no wing now. This may have to come into the pits, or he'll have to go into the pits surely, because he's going to be struggling to steer that Virtuosi car. And my goodness me, the pace was hot then. Toin Coin now has a massive 6-second gap then. Percy is having a sniff on the inside of Hassau in the Charus car. There is Percy and Hassau. Percy has raced in all 4 Formula 2 venues so far. Great stuff indeed there for Percy, and I'm sure that someone else has as well. I think it's Jay Higgs. Yeah, great stuff indeed for both those drivers. They're not actually full-time drivers, but they've been magnificent for the Formula 2 in the Formula 2 category. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Into the pits, and it's got a full-course caution here. Whoa, debris all over the show here, and as into the pits comes Jinner. I wonder if Jinner was collateral damage then for It was cloud damage after Lights came to the pits. And let's take a look at Jinner in the pits now. And no, he is coming in the pits, and this is exactly this is the strategy corner. He's on ultra softs again here with the VSC, and Lights there has had to wait. This is a double blow for Virtuosi, and Lights there is going to be very unhappy, I think, with his teammate there potentially, especially if he didn't have to have a wing change even then. But Lights are coming in the pits now. Vester's on the medium tyres there. Lights, I think, will be on the medium tyres as well, as the Virtuosi team are scrambling to go to work. Drive-through penalty for Hassel for spinning under the safety car in the pits is also reflects as well. A lot of drivers taking advantage of this VSC, and look at how much ground Lights has lost here. Toyn Coin still leads the way. Hassel is in second, but has a drive-through penalty. Percy is goodness me, it's getting very close there. And Lights, goodness me, almost him and Martin almost taking each other out coming out the pit lane there. They was all very keen to get going, weren't they? Yeah. Oh no, yellow flag. Is that Toyn Coin? It is Toyn Coin who's had an issue at the castle. Oh, and his debris is damaged there, the same problem that Lights had. And oh goodness me, the race leader who's looking very strong indeed, and has now also had issues as well. Lights said he's got past Martin here and moved himself up to 10th and into the points there. I'm wondering why Jinner went on to new super soft there. He would have to have gone on to medium tyres here. He has to use two types of tyres, Jinner does. So I do feel that may be a mistake from the Virtuosi team. Hassel is dropped behind Percy then. There they come. Oh my goodness me. And there they go. A lovely shot here as the helicam are watching down. But Hassel will take over the lead there when Toyn Coin comes into the pits there. So there is the karting car who's been, the Campos car has been magnificent so far, but that is a bit of a blemish in the moment there for Toyn Coin. Let's see how he responds there. Into the pits there comes. Oh, look at this, and they're all into the pits here. And my goodness me, then, so they don't want to. And Percy could take the lead of this race. Hassel is going to have to take the drive-through penalty. Lucifer takes the lead of this race then. Of course, he led the. He led the sprint race, didn't he, earlier on in this one? Now then, he is leading this race, but he does have to make a stop then. So Toyn Coin is having to change the nose cone on the Campos there, unfortunately, and there's going to be an additional several odd seconds there on what he would like then. Who is that in the background there? That's Jinner in the pits again for Virtuosi. Is that a drive-through penalty for Jinner then? I think it is, because he hasn't changed his tyres there. Drive-through penalty for Jinner. That is costly. Vestier back out in 5th position then. Luku is back up in the top 10 as well here. A lovely 17. And Lights is gone. Lights is gone then. And oh, he's pitted and quitted, Lights has. He's had enough. He's out of the Formula 2 race there. Oh dear. CZ, who is just coming out the pits as well. Bannister and also Vintage there at the back of the field at the moment now. Goodness gracious me. Lucifer leads the way then. Second position is Hassel with third position as Chew. And both Charou's team doing a great job. And well done to Chew as well. Very much doing a great job in the second. It's Percy almost going into the wall there. On board now then, so we're about half distance, or just got it to half distance. And Sick and Smoke there has got past Jay Higgs. We've also got a battle here between Nosey and what is going on here. Oh gosh, watch the wall, guys. As Sick and Smoke has gone wide. Jay Higgs is going to go on the outside, then the inside there. As Sick and Smoke giving him a squeeze then, and just about gives him enough room for that Dams car. Up into 11th position now goes Higgs there. Sick and Smoke. Oh no, and he's in the wall. And Jay Higgs there, that is, and that's a lot of damage there for Jay Higgs there. He would like to have gone to the end of the race, I'm sure, on those medium tyres, and that is a blow. Jinner now onto the super soft tyres then. Gap in the front for Lucifer, who hasn't pitted yet. He's probably enjoyed himself out there, isn't he? Lucifer is. As he now comes into the pit then. Yes, I'm getting confused because there's Vintage. I was wondering why. I thought Lucifer had actually gone round again, but no, he is in the pits there. Hassel, who is also coming in the pits well. So Percy's going to take the de facto lead here, as Higgs is off there at the pesky turn 15, unfortunately. So then let's see, Lucifer. It's got no tyres on that wheel carcass there, is it? Goodness gracious me then. Coming out of the pits now, as Rick's saying, I like watching it. The chaos is going on the moment there. R2P is saying that, goodness gracious me. It is absolute chaos there. R2P will be back in action for our next F2 race, which is in Imola in 2 weeks' time, I believe. As Hassel is also coming out of the pits as well in the Charus racing system, and he's coming out of the pits. Siege got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. As also Siege has also called it a day as well. Unfortunately, I think. Then there he is. Then so 2 retirements in this sprint race so far, just over half distance in this one. Goodness gracious me, that as Farp has asked for positions or permissions, I'm not sure. There are the positions at the moment, and Siege has left the session. Then furious with what has occurred in this one, I think, as we've got Vessier and Toincoin are also swapping position as well. Let's take a look, shall we? There they are. The yellow flag in sector 1 then is one of the Charus cars off then of Chewy. We're just watching Lucifer up the inside then. Passes. Oh gosh, he's going to go into the wall. Tack with the wall then. Toincoin gone up and under and back into full position as well. Movement. I'll read your comment in a minute there. As I don't want to take my eyes off this incredible action out here at the moment there. Lap 8. I will now. Just watch that. If you don't like it, don't watch it. It's not like this all the time. Actually, it's really good at fast drivers. I hope you're well today. Well, thank you very much, Movement. Yes, I think that it's just the nature of the circuit in Baku there. But yeah, some of the driving has been very interesting to say the least, hasn't it? But yeah, it's been. I think that Baku has been quite one of the most, the more interesting weeks in ALR, hasn't it? Next week we do go to Miami then. It's another street circuit, but I would hazard a guess then. I know Fark is probably screaming at the TV now saying, don't say it, Sean, but I am going to say it because I am confident. I think that the race will not be as safe, not have to be safety car heavy as it was here in Baku. I also think that it's the nature of the track as well does bring on all kinds of mischief, doesn't it? There is, but yes, it is full of action. Personally, I've loved it. For 4 races that oh gosh, they're gonna. Oh my goodness me. 4 races of absolute non-stop action. Then the races have flown by for me. Goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me, it's incredible stuff around that is that. So not many people did those pit under the BSC. Not many did, to be honest. The pit stops are all over the show, and that is oh goodness me, Sigismund has had to bail out there, hasn't he? As he is now in 8th position there, and Martin, I think it's Martin, had to bail out there, and Sirius Mushroom having a look as well, and almost spinning the car. Good gracious me, and back on board with Toincoin and Lucifer in a superb 5th position as well. Under BSC is allowed, I thought then, not safety car is not then. I thought it was the other way around. I thought you're allowed to pit under the safety car, but under BSC. Potentially. That might be why. I need to read the rule book on F2, shouldn't I? Really, it's shocking me. To be honest, I learned as I go, really. As back in my younger days, well, revelation never used to go well for me. I just kind of just hoped and prayed, really. But yes, I thought it was the VSC you were allowed to pit in, but you was allowed to pit under the safety car. That's what I thought then. A VSC pit doesn't count as a pit stop, so if they did, they might get disqualified on the last lap. So on that, and I'm wondering if that's why Gino went on to the super softs then. So yeah, the super softs then, and maybe you could have a very, very short stint on the medium compound tires. So interesting stuff indeed. Then there was a few that did pit under the BSC, and that's a very good point now that Siege makes that. Toincoin is now up into 3rd position. This man is absolutely outstanding, isn't he? He's a really good driver indeed. First ever drive here in Formula 2 for Toincoin, and he is absolutely chucking the car around. So much confidence there for the young Campos driver. We love it. Jenner still in 2nd position there with Percy. He's now got a 9-second lead then. Percy has been through the rigour, hasn't he, in the Formula 2 grid, hasn't he there? But I think that when he is out in front then, he does seem to enjoy it. I remember that Percy did get the double, the sprint and the Grand Prix win in Baku in gold on Sunday. Has really propelled himself up the championship order. I think he's leading now the championship actually with AC, Immortal and Troy both joined on 2nd on 44 points, I think. Anyway, I can't. Goodness me, that was on Sunday. Watching Sirius Mush, and then 5 laps to go in this one. 5 laps to go in this one. Well, R2 beats out. We'll see who's right. Nice lesson for the rest for the season. Then it is indeed actually, and it's also a nice lesson for me because this is how I learned by seeing what mistakes have made that, and potentially what these drivers have made a mistake as well. We'll see how this will transpire. Oh my goodness me. I'm sweating again then. Goodness gracious me. The only downside about this week, I must say, is the amount of washing I've got through then. Sick as Merku. Oh, he's in the wall, the castle section there. Is that going to be a late safety car here? He's got himself going. Bannister is out as well. And, oh dear, and that is just the corner before. We've got another VSC here. Oh dear, oh dear. So, unfortunately, there's 6 month crash and Bannister as well. Then both Primas then seem to have the same, almost the same issue and almost the same part of the track. There, look at Chewy's eyes there. That's fantastic glance we've seen there as the sun is just peering over the old town there. And we've seen a glance of Chewy's eyes there, very much focused on the job in hand then. Ginner's in the pits again then. So if this VSC is correct then, which I'm sure it is, to be honest, I'm sure that no one's allowed to pit under the VSC, then I think that Ginner may be in a spot of bother here. Let's see how this one transpires then. It's the only virtual racing car left in this race coming out of the pits now. We've got Nolte also into the pits as well, and also going to put on a set of super. I do find it quite good. Oh, it's a safety car. I thought it was still a VSC. Goodness gracious me. So it is. So that virtual safety car, it's not a virtual safety car. It's a full safety car. So yeah. So all the drivers that have now come into the pits, and this does count as a pit stop. Siggersmuck has got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. A lot of speed lane penalties tonight, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. But yes, these pit stops does count then. So this is going to get very interesting indeed then, and it's going to be interesting to see who is going to really be grinning from ear to ear in this one there. The top 5 are going to be a little concerned about this, I think. Then, so it's not a virtual safety car; it's a full safety car here. Of course, then. So there is Bernd Mylander out for the second time, for the third time tonight, I believe. But basically, the sprint race was basically a safety car race, really, wasn't it? In essence, driver of the day nominations. Thank you very much then to Mr. Admin. I'm not sure if that's far for Nosey. I hope it's far, because Nosey should be concentrated on the circuit, my good sir. But he can do 2 things at once, which is absolutely fantastic. And I think he's also still on his yacht in Miami as well. Of course, Nosey thankfully will be back in for silver on Monday night. Which is good stuff for you silver fans out there, isn't there? Of course, I think you've had enough of this groaning old ginger, haven't you, for the past 2 weeks, haven't you? So yes, Knowles will be back commentating on the action in Miami there. So cannot wait to hear Knowlesy talking us through the action with silver, which silver's been absolutely magnificent, hasn't it, over the past first 4 races of the season. But at the moment, but of course, the other race in Miami, you've got gold on Sunday as well, and gold on Sunday. The championship is very much in the balance, isn't it? There, of course, we only had 4 races there, and there's a lot of bad feeling potentially from all drivers, and well, not from all drivers, from most drivers in each championship as well, about the fallout which is happening in Baku. That is the beauty about our races each and every week, isn't there? You certainly cannot get away from the action, can you? So driver of the day is out there. Knowlesy on 50%, Toyn Coin on 50% as well. Keep your votes coming in, ladies and gents. Jenner back in the pits and going back onto super soft tyres. That's 5 laps on the super softs. Hopefully that's going to be okay for Jenner. Now it's going to be Vessier and Toyn Coin and Percy and Luca and Lucifer are all going to be feeling a bit worried then. So safety car, I think, will be in at the end of that, and we'll be back racing once again. Excuse me whilst I wet my boots. I had these fridge razors earlier on. I think they're like just chicken bites. Absolutely love them. But I had the southern fried one, and that's another speed and penalty there for Sigma. Luckily, we don't have fines today, ALR, for speed and for pit lane speed limited infringements. So, for goodness me, if we did, I think Sigma, hopefully, he's got a big wallet as he comes out of the pits now. I had these fridge razors. Just before I came on air, and the Southern Fried ones, I usually like the original ones, but they had none in Tesco shakily. But it's starting to repeat on me now, isn't it? I've got to get myself less excited then for the end of this race then. Thank you very much for everyone that's joined us tonight. Really appreciate your company, and especially, and I definitely need it. And I still learn the ropes in Formula 2. I love Formula 2, not as much as F1, of course, but Formula 2. And I do struggle with some of the rules that's out there at the moment. Safety car is out at the moment, and I'm wondering if when the safety car will be in. But I reckon it might be. I thought it was going to be this lap. It may actually be the next lap. You know. I'm still waiting for drivers to be picked up. Then unfortunately, I don't think Vintage's birthday boy is going to catch up. Unfortunately, to the back there. Chewy may just be able to catch up to the back of this crocodile and the rest of the drivers. But I think the Vintage may be too far back. We hope not, because Vintage has got points in the sprint at the moment. He loves to have points in the feature races. That would be a very good present indeed. Not as good as his actual present, though, isn't there? Which I'm so jealous of. But goodness me, of course I'm green with envy there. Oh, good gracious me! I hope you have a good time today. It'll be fantastic. I would love to go to Zandvoort, to be fair. Yeah. I must admit, I may be an enemy in enemy territory, so to speak. Then, of course, being a Lewis Hamilton fan, but I would just love to experience it, because I've been at Zandvoort, just watching Zandvoort, and all the Dutch fans going, all the Dutch fans and the Max Vertingent? I don't know. Max Verstappen fans, I should stop using big words. Max Verstappen fans then going absolutely wild. And also, I do love a bit of techno as well. Then I love to have a good old rave as well. So, yes, indeed. It'd be great to go to Zandvoort. It looks like a really nice place as well. And the circuit is absolutely magnificent, isn't it? I'm not sure about the racing around there, the actual full racing, but certainly the drive bit is absolutely spectacular, isn't it? Here is Percy at the moment leading the way, with Toyn Coin in second and Lucifer in third position. Everyone else is on the super soft tyres there. I think we just seen a glimpse of I think that was Vintage there. It was Vintage. So he's on the opposite side of the circuit. We've got Sickers Muck into the pits there. I think the Sickers Muck is going to struggle to catch up now as well. Maybe even Jay Higgs as well, down in 13th position here. Safety car is still out at the moment. Then we've got just 2 more laps now of this race. So we're a lot of safety cars here tonight in Formula 2, but I wasn't expecting anything less, because this track with the walls so close and so fast street circuit, then accidents are definitely going to happen. Certainly not. I'm wondering, if I was Percy, what would I be thinking? Safety car's in. I'll be concerned about Toyn Coin now, because he is quicker than a hiccup. I'll be concerned about Lucifer as well, because he won the sprint race and he is pretty good in that Trident car. Then I'll be concerned about all the super soft runners as well. So I must say that Percy is probably going to be very concerned about probably the 14 drivers behind him. Maybe not all 14 now, because I think that Chewy is too far back, unfortunately he is. And so Chewy, Jay Higgs, Vintage and Siggers Muck, unless something almightily goes wrong then, which we hope not. Well, we hope not in terms of what's going on then, but they might think so. Then, of course, they won't get any points. Toyn Coin and Knowles has so far got driver of the day. Percy then is just about to get going now then, and once again then, very similar to Lucifer, he does not want to go until the final possible moment here. The super soft tires from Vessier, Hassau and co, and now we're racing. I think with the super soft tires it's going to be a major problem, and Toyn Coin then is going to get the defensive here over Lucifer, because Lucifer is going to have a look there, not quite, he's too far back at the moment there. Who is that there? That's Jinner steaming down the inside. That's going to come in contact. It has been contact there, and goodness me there. And now I'm not, to be honest, there it's that Jinner and Hassau. Did Hassau come in too late? Did Jinner come in too late? Did Hassau not leave him? Should have left him a bit of a car's rip there. Well, that's luckily I'm not a steward then, because I usually go, oh my word there. Besser up the inside of Lucifer here. Lucifer just dropped off the podium there, down in fourth position then. Besser up to third then. Toyn Coin in a second position about there. But look at that then, as Percy is just scampering off into the distance, and he needs to. Then we've got only just 1.5 more laps in this race there. But with those super soft tyres there on the cars behind, the medium runners are going to be feeling very vulnerable indeed. Unfortunately, Jinner and Hassau, their races I think have been done and dusted, and that's a big blow for Cherosi, who was second and third at the start of this race, and they're going to be going out with nil points, unfortunately, as we go through the castle section once again then, and accelerator. I love shot then from the stands then of the fans here loving life at day of the ALR action over the past 4 days. It has been pretty relentless, hasn't it, to say the least. Nosey all over the back now of a 4th place Lucifer here. Count Nosey in the Logan Sargent car then. Very Nosey bringing out his inner American here tonight then, as I got that meme stuck in my head about that, about what is a kilometre. I wonder if Nosey is singing that in the car as well, as he is now accelerating away in car 5. Of course, Nigel Mansell S5s, and of course, especially in that Williams livery as well. Great stuff indeed there, of course, Nigel Mansell, a Williams legend, isn't he? And of course, with that red 5, so synonymous with the Williams car. Watching Nosey going side by side there with Lucifer. He is through and up into 4th position. Lucifer dropped down the order. Toyn Coyne is now dropped behind Vessier as well. Vessier's got half a second gap between himself and the race leader, which is Person. And can Vessier take his maiden Grand Prix win in Formula 2, which will be pretty sensational to say the least. As I've said, Person had a torrid time in Formula 2, hasn't he? But good gracious, goodness gracious me, he is but goodness gracious me, he's going to be working for this one, isn't he? Going down then once again, and no DRS in the final stage of this one, as we got Luke then just having a sniff on the but he's too far back about Chewy in a superb 10th position, and that shows to never call it a day in these Formula 2 races then, because Chewy, who was I was dismissing Chewy already before the safety car came in, because he was about 12 seconds away from the Crocodile, and look where he is now. He's in 10th position. Magnificent driving from Chewy. Really good stuff indeed. Then keep your votes coming in for driver of the day. Currently Toyn Coyne has got it by 60% of the vote, I believe. And look at this, and oh goodness me, Reflections giving Lucifer a budge there. Look at Reflections, over to 6th position, but no one's to me. Fantastic performance. Vessier, can he steal this lead on the final lap there? He is all over the back of Lucas Percy there. Lucas Percy hasn't got the tyres, the Vessier has. He's got the super soft tyres, and have a look down in turn 15, and this is going to get very interesting. Then Percy is being pushed out of turn 15 now. Vessier and Percy are going to go head to head then. Turn 16. That's it then. Now it's going to be a drag race then. Every sense of the word then. Who is going to win their first Formula 2 race then? And then look at this, and it's Percy, it's Vessier. Oh goodness me, they almost made contact. They have made contact. They have hit the wall. And goodness gracious me. And oh no, dear, that is not what we wanted to see. And Percy is going to be livid with that. Out of the final turn, then Toyn Coyne wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And Vessier is also going to be livid with that as well. Both drivers then going for the win. Then it is very fast through the final part of the lap there. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. Yes, that was a disappointing way to end the race, unfortunately, for Percy out of the race there. And Vessier didn't get a point in the end either. As Reflections, I can't know where he finished there, but Reflections got a great result today. Knowlesy in second, now third is Lucifer. Really good stuff indeed then. Knowlesy then 1 second away from the Grand Prix win here in this one now. What an anticlimax there. Oh, I certainly know a lot about that. Right, Percy not happy at all then. Serious Mushroom's happy, gets in there. I was driving it there, get stuffed. Serious Mushroom saying, no, actually Nosey looks like he's driving there, but Toyn Coyne on his debut there, won his first ever race as well. Goodness gracious me. As Memes Tan saying, this is very typical there. Zero Patience, Percy is saying that nice job Martin, some good points for Dams there. And we'll take a final look at the classification. I can't remember where Reflections came, but he was in the top 10 somewhere. And unfortunately, when he left there, he just dropped like a stone there. Right, let's take a final look at the classification, shall we? Toyn Coyne from pole position to checkered flag. That seems straightforward, doesn't it? Anything but. Toyn Coyne, on his debut in the feature race in Formula 2, has taken the checkered flag. Knowlesy, great performance, his best ever result in Formula 2, second. Lucifer has had an absolutely outstanding day today. Third was the win in the sprints, third in the feature, magnificent. Martin in 4th position there. Good spot there for Martin to beat. 5th position, Serious Mushroom. Serious Mushroom. 6th position was Luke. 7th was Chewy. Great drive from Luke. Chewy there. 8th was Hassan. Jin 9th. And 10th position was Vesher, but I'm sure Reflections was in there somewhere. Vintage, happy birthday in 11th position there. Sickest Muck in 12th. Reflections in 30. Percy, Hings, Bannister, Siege, and Lights all retired them from the Grand Prix there. Well done for comeback drive for Toy and Coin there. That was, yes, and I think that there's a, there's going to be some major fallout in F2 as well, isn't there, at the end of that one there, which I was expecting a good drag race at the end there, but unfortunately we was robbed of that, wasn't we? Unfortunately. Well, that's it from Baku this week, and I got to say, it's been very interesting. Goodness gracious me, it's been absolutely drama, and everything, hasn't it? There in this one, I gotta say, I got a real bad earache all of a sudden. Goodness me, I've got a massive earache indeed. Then, but drama and everything in this one throughout the course of the week, and not just today. There, but there's going to be a lot of fallout from the race tonight between the top two drivers. There, championship lead. Luke is saying, "I'm glad that you said that, Luke, because it would have taken me forever and a day to sort that out. So I'm glad that you got your mass hat on. Then, Nosey is in the commentary booth for me, which is very unusual because me and Nosey don't really commentate anymore. But Nosey, a great second today. But I gotta say, I don't think you was expecting that because you was 4th at one stage in the final lap.
No, I don't know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, I just kept out of trouble, unlike most people. So yeah, as I said to everyone before the race as well, if you keep out of trouble, if you keep it clean, you're going to get a result. I said that in bronze as well, and yeah, that's all I did really. Didn't really even try and go for any moves or anything. I just waited for people to mess up and get the places in front of me.
And this is some good points for the Carling team as well. When you because you're a substitute at the moment for the Carling team, then how do you feel? Do you feel that you're obliged sometimes not to like go out and out? Because in gold, then we see you make some incredible like strategy calls and things like that. But do you feel that when you're not a full-time driver, how difficult is it then just to say I'm just driving for the team?
Well, made a mistake and I decided to put myself in for the full-time seat anyway. So yeah, there you go.
Oh, someone's missed that. I'll blame Favre. But then if you're on the full time seat, then going into Miami, then in a week's time, then it's another street circuit. We've had action and drama all the way through ALR this week. It's been a bit of a tough one. Do you think it's going to be the same action and incidents, or do you think it's going to be a bit more of a traditional ALR race?
Which circuit was that? Sorry.
Imola in 2 weeks.
Oh yes, Imola, much better. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm looking. Well, Imola's, I think, one of the best sort of historic circuits you could say on the calendar. So yeah, always like racing around Imola. Yeah, so it's a good track to race around. Obviously, we've got the break week next week, which I think some drivers will be looking forward to at this rate. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's going to be a lot different to Baku. Hopefully, people can keep their concentration up and keep their focus a bit more because, like you said, those walls around Baku can really catch people out, and I think it has done today as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how it's going to be a bit different, a bit better, hopefully as well for the fifth round in 2 weeks' time in Imola.
Yes, Imola, not Miami. Right then. Very good stuff indeed. Well done today, Nosey. Brilliant drive to a second then. And Lucifer, I've been saying then throughout the Formula 2 season that you have been my driver of the season so far. You've been absolutely spectacular, and you won your sprint race today, and then you got third in the feature race as well. Then, but talk us about your sprint race first, and with safety car all the way through that race, and I bet that was difficult, wasn't it?
Safety car was all right. It actually helped me a lot. Uh, on the restarts, I knew what to do. Start late on the back stretch. I mean, on the front stretch. So I kept them back, and actually, I got pace. My car was good, and then I won the sprint race.
You certainly did indeed, and it was absolutely spectacular sprint race then. The feature race then was a bit more dramatic then, but you certainly worked your way through then. There was a lot of accidents and incidents as well. When the late safety car came out, what was you thinking about then? I think you were on the super soft in the end then, I believe. Am I wrong? I might be wrong.
No, I was on mediums actually. I was planning to go on softs, but super softs, but I wanted track position. And surprisingly, I did get track position, but Nosley got me on super softs. 2 laps to go, and then on final lap, I was shocked at P1 and P2 crashed out, and there you go, I got P3.
It would help if the commentator was actually paying attention, wouldn't it? But yes, a great drive to P3 today. I've also wanted to chat to you about your season overall. Then you've been absolutely stellar in that Trident. Then, and I think that, as I said, you've been the driver of the season so far. What are your aspirations then for the season ahead in F2? Because you seem to be absolutely thriving in in that Trident car.
Oh, I love F2s. I love this. I love this car. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to better results, more podiums, and that's it.
And do you think you can get a feature race win coming up for the remainder of the season? Is that going to be your aim?
Oh yeah, definitely. That will be my aim. To win feature race. I got my sprint race win. That's off the checklist, and time to win feature.
Really well done today, Lucifer. Brilliant job indeed. And also a brilliant job all throughout the season as well. I've absolutely loved watching you. It's been fantastic.
Thank you.
Well done to Knowles as well, who finished second today. And well done to Toyn Coyne, who made his debut today, got a pole position, and then got the win as well. Fantastic stuff indeed. As easy as you like, isn't it? Yes, as Alex said, we are not in Miami next week. We are in Imola in 2 weeks' time then. So hopefully it'll give a bit of time for the drivers to digest what has happened here in Formula 2 then. Cannot wait for him there. It's a classic circuit. It is narrow, but so are these Formula 2 cars. I cannot wait then. It is going to be spectacular. But ALR will be returning on Sunday then as we go to Miami then. Of course, I'm looking forward to that one then. Gold, silver, and bronze will be in action then. It is going to be a thriller. Goodbye.